Hi there, Formula One fans out here, and welcome to Formula 2010. This is actually the year 2010. Is the Formula One 2010 is not going to be released of the official game. The official game of the F1 2010 is not exist around here because the forgotten thing is the NASCAR 2010 and Formula 2010. It is absolutely pretty exist as well, and except the NASCAR 2010 as well. Probably, we're going to be saying what is new in about for many like these things. But before we're going to begin of this video, thank you for 10,000 like this thing. So probably, the game has been reopened, and there must be for a first update. This is the logo of Formula 2010. Public like these things is officially like this one, and we got some kind of partners. The Formula Racing is absolutely going to be going to the track today, so we can actually going to be going back as well. I appreciate that. We thank you for over 700 subscribers, which is 7,000 horsepower. Let's going to be seeing the credits as absolutely for J4KOP, the pilots, the main bots, and Juice Man in critical like these things is for a there is only one creator. The buildings are two users. The tracks is manually bots as well for just about a year. The manual bots as well. So I'm probably this is not gonna be saying for about for many more reasons to said what I just actually. So we have 4 tracks to use or 4 tracks to choose around here. I think we just only got 3 tracks to use. Probably we're gonna be starting in Australia, which is Millabloom, and we're just gonna be eventually teleporting into somewhere other racetracks as well. Absolutely, we're starting over here, starting in Austria, some kind of little bit for this thing. So I'm gonna be choosing this thing. After you have joined inside of the racetrack, you have to choose any of these team drivers. We're going to be trying to choose what is going to be as such as one. We're going to be trying to use as McLaren, Mercedes. We have many of these things. We have Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Renault. We have still this exists before it's going to be removed until it being replaced with Caterham, Williams, Sabre, Force India, Toro Rosso, Lotus F1, Virgin Racing, and Honda Racing Team. I'm going to be starting without further ado to the Lotus F1. So, we're just going to be spawning the car as literally for the changing of aerodynamics as well. The Lotus still absolutely using for this one until, but the next year by 2011 it merged from Lotus and Renault and mixed with Caterham as well. So, let's start for some kind of General Electric. And this is not going to be powered by General Electric like this thing, guys. And before, Kiki Runners, let's just going to be driving for this one. And this is ridiculously loud as well. So, we're just going to be letting go of the brakes. As for this thing, it's not going to be trying to start. As we can start up with the vehicle, let's just press C. I think this is ridiculously loud, and I'm eventually using the handbrake as well. Now we're not some kind of Australia like this thing's in the mid-bloom. I think we're in Austria right there. This is the Red Bull Ring, and we're gonna be trying to see without further notice. As you can see for this thing, this F1 vehicle is going to be taking all over to its one place. I don't really think this is not going to be working in progress. As you can jump out of vehicle, I don't really think so in about for this. That I just never able to remember in about this. After you jump all the way down here, I don't really despite seeing this. And I won't be able to do so because without further ado, and I shouldn't able to refuse to reset my character as well. As I can jump out of the vehicle despawns in 5 seconds, which is I'm going to head into Red Bull. If I just gonna be reset the character, I'm gonna be choosing some kind of Red Bull Max Verstappen. As we just gonna be using for the McLaren, Mercedes is Gonna be only one reason. There must be one Mercedes. The first cure of this thing, I have to reset the character even first before this doesn't matters as well. After you have been reset the character, which is you might able to go back into the team. Your own team is Lotus F1. I thought it was Australia, so I suggest I'm just gonna be returning back. And what I should be able to say, Toro Rosso. I'm never gonna be trying to do this whatsoever before I just reset the character or just rejoin the game. And by the way, it was being work in progress. The spectate menu is perhaps that wasn't going to be going for a spectate menu as well. So let's just leave the game and rejoin into the racetrack. Because if the track is very hard, and it looks like we're just absolutely regaining for the menu settings as well. The next one will be in the Catalonia. And instead of Austria, I mean for some kind of Austria, this is literally going to be using for some kind of Red Bull Ring. And the next one is Catalonia, Barcelona. And what I just gonna be really said, this is eventually that we're gonna be going into this one. After you've been teleported into this thing, we're gonna be using some kind of Lotus once again because I really can't to do like this one. I'm going to be using Sauber or Toro Rosso like this thing as well. We're gonna be using some kind of Sauber or Williams. Williams is absolutely going to be really hurting your mind, so I'm going to be choosing Sauber. So it looks like I'm going to be doing some kind of spawn a car, and you can change for the aerodynamics. But as you can see for this Formula 1 vehicle, it's spawning immediately right. So as you can be, despite seeing like this Hot Wheels version, this is not Indonesia like these things. This is absolutely for the Formula 1 in the UK. It's pretty sounds like ridiculously like this thing as well. So as you can be start onto the engine, it's really silent as well. And especially Ferraris and part of the Formula 1 vehicles or sound like extremely loud as hell. As you need to do so, you can maximize for the aerodynamics as well. As we're just gonna be trying to accelerate of this one thing. As I just hit around for the 7th gear, this is where we're actually trying to start all the way for this only one racetrack. The best lap times is absolutely for the first Formula 1 series will be qualifying for against one series. So as we just try to do so, as I'm just gonna be using the Formula 1 car, I'm gonna be maximize the downforce itself and started to get maximum attacks as well. But we eventually got for first corner cuts as well, 2 corner cuts, and oh dear, we got for 3 warnings as well. I think this is absolutely, I don't really think we got a fine by the police. I don't really think this isn't gonna be going for just as much as grating as thing as well. So we're just gonna be trying to take a long terms as well. Let's just try 2022 seasons as well. Now I'm gonna be reducing as well. The front wing and the rear wing is not gonna be taking for such as very serious. And we got 10 strikes. Oh dear. If I just might able to kick out of the game before that doesn't, despite seeing like this thing. So we got our first lap. And we just not able to do for our flying lap before that doesn't even matters to get all the way around here. 12 corner cuts total. I think this is absolutely going to be going for all the way for around for this even terrifying lap as well. So this is not the best lap we just ever tried to do. This lap is a cheat. And I cannot believe this isn't going to be going for very much best. The best lap time I won't able to beat is impossible to around for this way. So looks like I'm just gonna be trying to keep ourselves. That sounds like a ridiculously man without some kind of sound effects like these to the F1 cars. And looks like we just have various mistake all over here. So the last lap is literally very mistaken and it's very cursed around here. So looks like we have to just take it a little bit slow. We have last 2 warnings remaining, because literally I'm starting to get bad at Formula 1 cars as well. 6 cars, and I'm pretty not sure that we're just gonna be trying to hit all the way for a hit and run, for just gonna be trying to win itself. Now let's just slow down. 1 minute and 11 seconds, and it's not pretty fast as well. So it looks like I'm just gonna be trying to beat its Top Gear for its next test. 19 seconds for its fastest lap in first corner. So I'm just heading back into the 3rd gear, 4th gear, and looks like we're just gonna be trying to do for our best lap. So the Sauber from the 1 team isn't going to be handled so much longer as even possible. So hit it around for the 6th gear. Now try to hit as fast as possible. Now let's get a hit into the 3rd gear to the 4th gear. I wonder that, however, that the cars are going to be power sliding as well. I really don't think it matters. This isn't going to be going to get so much worse at all, as the Formula 1 cars are going to be extremely fast, faster at 2 sector times. 1 minute and 10 seconds is 6:41. I'm trying to do my best for its one thing without mistaking. So if I just gonna be keeping around for this one itself, before I just gonna be trying to keep on focus, because our last 2 warnings isn't going to be making mistakeable. Another fastest lap, which is going to be for a maximized attack as well. So hit it around for the 3rd gear. 4th gear is very fast, is 6th gear, and I'm trying to make a maximum attack of this thing. I really think this is going to be going all over to this thing. We just eventually got a worst mistake over here for a power sliding. And because look at this thing is absolutely pretty such as well. Oh dear, we got 23 corner cuts as well. And I'm afraid we just gonna be returned back into the pit as well. And I make sure I finally leave the game as well. Unfortunately, that doesn't making much even more worse as well. The Cars 2 references isn't going to be making for some kind of return back into the pits. As we just turn back into the pits, there must be a pit limit as well. I think we just eventually completely stopped as well. So as I can jump out of this vehicle, the Formula 1 despawns after 5 seconds. And looks like I just gotta be leaving the game and rejoin this once again. Well, I forgot to say for the aero setups as well, we're gonna be race in South Korea. And I'm not pretty sure this isn't gonna be going for about for just race. Even the track is even bigger than I imagined. So what's just gonna be doing for the Russia is the Virgin Racing, and about for this only one thing. So we have Formula 1 cars available, even though this is gonna be something is a little bit better. But before we're gonna be despite jumping of this thing, let's just press C, and before we're gonna be pressing N to start, and that's not sounds like pretty good as well. So as we're gonna be trying a pretty go idea, I have no idea we have to start all the way as well. There must be a lap time board as literally as possible as well. Before I just turn into some kind of one thing, and there must be one distraction, and there must be nothing as well. So I'm gonna be choosing for the automatic transmission, which is I have not seen for this literally one day. As you can be despite seeing for these buildings, there are Cars 2 reference, and about for this only one thing. So let's just gonna be trying to set up for this only one thing as well. Let's just pretty setting up for this only one thing, and the reducements at about for this Formula 1 car, I think we're possibly sure the World Grand Prix reference is all about the Cars 2 reference racing in Japan, but now we're in South Korea, but it's only 1 decade. I think this is absolutely for the most sharpest corner we ever seen this in Formula 1 2010, and this is this high speed corner even about to do this. the top speed of this Formula 1 cars will be nearly 200 miles an hour. As you can be, despite saying this Formula 1 is already haven't reached the 200 miles per hour, but it already did successfully. And looks like we're gonna be trying to do for our best laps, but unfortunately we cannot do our best because due to corner cutting itself for a worst. Unfortunately, we cannot do our best lap itself because of literally having a bad luck for this thing or a skill issues like this one, a progress of this one, and I'm never very sure because this is literally starting to get me myself a bad luck, as I can look like this is never able to be seen around here to reach out to 200 miles per hour once again, as we forgot to see about for this a little bit for its another corners itself. As we just gonna be making throughout for this very bad laps. We're just gonna be doing for our final corner, and the start finish is literally right over here. So we just finished in 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and this is absolutely bad hitting as well for a first lap. And for the first corner is over here, for just over here. Another one is, I'm never gonna be very sure. I feel such as bad luck out here. I'm not telling to the Asian viewers like this one. Only European viewers like this one, because this is actually America. All over here for this side, I think I won't be able to get for my bad sign. After, looks like this isn't going to be for such as making continuously, like we ever say, we just try to do our best, because eventually we just got hit the wall. And we just eventually failed to hit 200 miles per hour after we just made a mistake in the sharpest corner, because I forgot the reference that we never able to say for our best laps. The worst lap we ever seen is the most dangerous things is about for just gonna be banned racetrack as well. So looks like we're out of hand, and looks like this is absolutely gonna be doing for just one course. I don't really think this is not suggestion, because this is where we absolutely corner cuts as well. And the worst thing as possibly is, this is going to get somewhere hurt as well. As we can keep on going for a finish line to get even for the step of 200 miles per hour. As we just gonna be step on the gas completely, we're just gonna be still completely gonna be trying to do so. But without certainly we further would notice, I say, I'm not pretty good at racetracks as well, but we're still pretty good at racetracks in ultimate driving and Project Track Day as well. As before we stepped into the finish line, we cannot believe this isn't gonna be about to go all the way down here. 2 minutes point 900 seconds. I should be able to do this for one time. Now I cannot believe this isn't about for just a good idea. So, but lastly, we're gonna be checking out for this our very best lap times. Now we just slightly try to hit the brake as well, and before I won't be able to get for a power sliding for about for here. So what we're gonna be trying to see is another reference. We'll be trying to brake for this very earlier onto the top end as well. So looks like we're just eventually turning early. And most likely this isn't gonna be about to get truly, of course. Going to the best laps in Formula 1 is pretty easy, and which means it's really hard to do so, because due to the gambling situation and about for this thing, I might reach at about over 200 miles an hour before this is absolutely, I'm never gonna be trying to stop all the way. So under 2 minutes in about for this thing. So even in about for this only one thing, I mean it's gonna be trying to take around for under 2 minutes in about for this thing. So we just kicked it all the way down here until a little bit about the power slide over here. We try not to lose grip about for this a highly anticipated for a longest corners as well. High speed corners is literally for my best thing as well. Without letting go of the throttle as well, I cannot believe this isn't going to be going for about for just one thing. I'm still about to slow down before I just gain up in the throttle as well. So it looks like 2 seconds behind of that second sector the third sector is going to be for under 2 minutes as well. Finally, it's time to head back into the pits. As I headed back into the pits, maybe it's time to the end of this video. There must be a pit lane speed, and because where is my team? But anyways, this is not literally try to do so as well. And before the nearby start finish, there is my team, and literally jump out of the vehicle, and the vehicle despawns in 5 seconds. And also, you can get a race helmet, and possibly that we ever try to do. As we know it, this must be the end of this video for immediately right now. So, if you like for today's video in best lap times in South Korea around here into this racetrack, leave a like and subscribe and click that bell, and the game link is in description down below, as you might able to race with your friends because it should be able to stay unpopular itself at once. Thanks for watching and for all your support, and this could be Turbo Concept is signing off, and before that I just met us for our very best lap times as well. I'm gonna be see you mini lads and Formula 1 fans and cookie runners all later.